Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about the worst addiction that a man can possibly have. Worse than meth or any other kind of drug imaginable. Worse than fentanyl. And of course, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about latinas, man. Latinas is such a terrible life destroying addiction. It's just truly awful. And I myself am inflicted with this unfortunate addiction. Um, you know, my love of Latinas is central to who I am. Like if I could name my celebrity crushes, it would probably be Olivia Rodrigo, Jenna Ortega before she got that surgery that made her look all awful, Selena Gomez like 10 years ago, and then Ariana Grande before she went all anorexic. I love Latinas so fucking much. They're so gorgeous. Like I'll see a Latina, and I'm in San Antonio, so I see them all the time, and I'll see a Latina, and she'll be like with some Edgar looking motherfucker, with that fucking bowl cut. It looks fucking awful, and I'm like, what is she doing with that guy? Like, she should totally be with me instead. But I don't know. I mean, I think that was more of a high school thing, the whole Edgar haircut. You don't really see many guys in like their 20s and stuff with the Edgar haircut. But you still see it sometimes, and it's just like, what is she doing with that guy? I genuinely don't understand why Latinas get with Latinos because like I don't know, I feel like Hispanics, like that's one of those races where it's like the women are way more attractive than the men. You see the same thing with Asians. It's like, why are Asians women getting with Asian guys? Like, you want small dick, you're short. Um, it's like, what are we doing here? Um, it doesn't make any sense to me, honestly, why Asian girls get with Asian guys. Because like they're all fiending over BTS. Like every girl who fiends over BTS must be like a closeted lesbian or something. Because those guys look like chicks. Like, what are we doing here? And like genuinely like chicks, not like '80s hair bands. How like the guys like they look like men, but they just had women's haircuts. No, those guys genuinely look like chicks. Like, what are we doing here? But anyways, that's off topic. Um, you know, the only thing with Latinas is that they're just so fucking toxic. Like, probably all of them are insanely fucking toxic. And I don't want to sound racist here because maybe there are some like normal, mentally stable Latinas, but I don't know. Maybe there's not because I know that kind of sounds like a fantasy. Like mentally stable Latina. Like, would you like that with a side of world peace and time travel? Like, what are we doing here? I feel like if there were mentally stable Latinas, like I don't know, like we would have like peace on earth. Like everything would be perfect. Like that sounds like heaven, dude. Like that would genuinely be paradise. It makes sense why Latinos are not mentally stable because like this is just reality. Like this isn't a Disney movie. Some things are genuinely too good to be true. But no, dude. Sometimes like Latinas, I just don't understand why they act the way they do. And I've been around so many Latinas. I have had romantic entanglements with several different Latinas. So I know what I'm talking about here. Like, don't discount my lived experience here. Okay, this is really a no dick inside of Latinas, no opinion kind of issue right here. Like, don't discount my lived experience. It's genuinely true. They're very toxic, and it's like it just genuinely doesn't make any sense to me how they think that that behavior is okay. Like, what goes on inside of their brain to justify being like that? I mean, I don't think it's genetic. I think it's probably cultural because, like, maybe they see their mom acting all toxic, they see everybody that they know acting all toxic, and so they just think that's normal. Maybe they even think that that's cool and that's like being in tune with your culture. Like, I'm a Latina, I have to be spicy and toxic and stuff. But there's a difference between being spicy and being toxic. Like there's nothing wrong with a little bit of attitude. Like, yes, mommy, abuse me, please. But like, it gets to a certain point where it's like, what are we doing? You know, like it gets to a certain point where it's just like blatant disrespect, and I just don't understand why they act like that. It's like it's not cool to act like a fucking bitch. It's not cool to be acting like you're basically like behaving like a child. Like if I wanted that, I'd go to Epstein Island. But of course, obviously, I'm a normal person, so I don't want that. But it's just like, what are we doing here, man? And a lot of them are genuinely evil. Like especially my evil Latina ex. Like bro, it genuinely baffles me. Like I will never understand why she behaved the way that she did. And full story at 10,000 subscribers, but it's like somebody like Mustache Man or Stalin or Benjamin Netanyahu. Think of the most evil people of all time. It's like at least you can kind of understand why they act the way they do, why they do the things that they did. Like, obviously, there's no excuse for genocide or anything like that. I don't want to say that there's an excuse, but it's like, you can get it, like, like a struggle for power, for more success of your country, for more prestige for your people. Maybe you view a certain people group as inferior and unfit to live. That's wrong, but I mean, at least you can understand why they act the way they do. I do not understand why my ex behaved the way that she did, or why any of the Latinas that I have come across behaved the way that they did. Like, why are you purposefully trying to make somebody's life miserable for no fucking reason? And you're just acting insane for no fucking reason? Because, like, I genuinely can't even think of a reason. It just doesn't make any sense, bro. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But, I'd like to say that I learned my lesson, but I definitely haven't. I definitely haven't learned my lesson. No, I'm definitely going to do that shit again. For sure. Um, But yeah, us guys, we got to stop getting with Latinas. Maybe if we stop getting with Latinas, then maybe they'll realize that their behavior's, not okay. Um, but not right now. Not right now. No, I'm thinking 2033 is when we stop getting with Latinas. All right. After 2033, no more Latinas. All right. At that point, it's no longer in vogue. Okay. Start getting with Asians, or I don't know, maybe Indians. Indian women. They don't get enough love. A lot of them don't look great, but there are some good-looking Indian women. Maybe we got to give that a shot. You know, or or like the Pakistani women, the women from those Muslim countries. They honestly look like Latinas, bro. Maybe they're a little bit less crazy. That might be worth a shot. I think that might be the move. But yeah, no more Latinas after 2033. I think we're done with that. I think enough's enough. Enough's enough in 8 years or 7 years. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and follow my Twitch. Y'all have a good one. Love you guys.